Welcome back to our next Rectory Ramble, where you can see that our fireplace is still not fixed. Thought you were able to fix anything.
If I have the parts, I can do it. Unfortunately, the store was closed, so...
Turns out he can only fix things that fly. Fireplaces
That have
don't
wings.
Fly. Oh, wow.
All right, so we have a lot of questions that have come to us, and so the first question is, how did you, both of you, come to the rectory here at St. Pat's? Do you guys have an option to go home? Like, what happened?
I first heard about... actually, to back up, I really didn't know what I was going to do. When the rector at Sacred Heart told us we have to leave or be out of the seminary by Wednesday, first thing was like I had no clue where I was going to go. So I'm up at one of our hangout spots at Sacred Heart called Oberg's, and I remember we're playing cards, and one of my seminarian brothers came up and he's like, "Christian, do you have a place to go?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, there's a place at St. Pat's in Brighton. They have extra rooms." I was like, "Okay, I'll give him a call." And that sounded great to me, because then I'd be able to, live with a couple priests and have a nice little community, which I thought was great. And be able to receive the Eucharist and Mass. And so called Father Joe. Sure enough, he said yes, and here we are. Yeah. Well, actually, it's kind of funny because I was only supposed to be here for a week and a half, but a week and a half and still counting. And so, yeah, it's been great.
It's great. What about you?
Very similar to Christian. I just I had needed to go to a rectory. I was like, I could have gone home for the foreseeable future, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really want to. One, being at home for a month and a half would be a long period of time, but also being in seminary, there's you start to identify really strongly with the priesthood and that priestly lived life. And so being at home, there's kind of a disconnect. And so staying at a rectory, you do get to really taste and see through the priest you're with. And in the spiritual life, there's an air of the priestly life present. And it's a way to continue to live out your seminary formation as well as to kind of foster a deeper desire for it. So that's why I came here. And I know Father Matthias and Father Joe are awesome. So
I don't know about that air of priestly life. I mean, since you guys have come, there's been an air of smoked ribs. But,
Exactly.
It's a little different. I don't mind, though. It's been great.
It's a good smell. It's a good smell.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a little seminary. Could call it St. Pat's Seminary if you wanted. It's been kind of nice. Now
Does
you guys
that mean you're the rector?
Yeah, I guess so.
And I get to be the head of formation?
Yes. Yes. You guys are going to be here the rest of the summer, right?
From the looks of it, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
this 2-week little visit has prolonged a little bit. But it's been great. I love having these guys here. We're having a good time. They're taking good care of us.
that's right. So the next question is, what is your favorite dish to cook? So to all of us, what is your favorite dish to cook?
Well, what I cook the most is probably eggs. Most mornings I'm cooking up scrambled eggs. I start with onions. So I saute some onions and mushrooms if we have them. Then I throw in some spinach and then crack a few eggs on there and put some cheese and salt and pepper and then scramble it all up. And it's delicious.
When I used to live in my old apartment when I was working, my favorite dish was always stir fry. Some sort of chicken stir fry with either rice noodles or regular rice. It was simple, but it also tasted really good. So, and you got your vegetables in it.
There you go.
So.
There you go, man. How about you?
Two different things. Either risotto.
No, one.
No, okay, fine. I can only do one.
Why do you think it says, what is your favorite?
Okay, calm right down. So if I were to go one, it would probably be making a croissant dough because I love watching it rise and the long period of process and baking it and seeing the expansion. And it's magic to see the whole process.
You just sit there and watch it rise?
Not the whole time, but you check after an hour, see how it's going. Make sure the croissants are doing okay. Come back, make sure they're rising.
Okay, what's
still.
your second one?
I'm not gonna answer that. I still feel slighted.
It's okay, you can let go of that. So mine actually is popcorn. I love making popcorn, especially when we watch a movie, and I don't get to make it very much, but since you guys have been here, we've made popcorn probably 3 times.
It's always delicious.
Yeah, so I like popcorn. I have a little
Coconut
stir crazy.
oil.
It's expeller pressed coconut oil with a little bit of butter in it. It's been very, very good. So what's the significance of mixing water and wine at Mass? Do you guys know?
Well,
When the priest, the deacon, mixes water and wine?
from what I learned, the very origin of it from Father Jones is originally it was just to water down the wine so that it wasn't quite so alcoholic, because they didn't want the priest to come across as lush in the early church. And then that tradition continued, and then it developed the spirituality of recognizing Christ, who is the wine, that divine element that intoxicates man with his love, and then the humanity, which is water, and it's the mingling of the humanity and the divinity of Christ, because it's going to become his blood in the chalice.
It's a little different than what I've heard.
Yeah, what do you
I've
think,
been
brother?
I've been told that just the practice of mixing a little bit of water into wine was common in the ancient world. It's even common today if you go to fancy enough restaurants. If you get a really nice glass of wine, they'll put a little drop of water in because it helps aerate it or something. And so that was just customary whenever you're preparing a glass of wine. And so it was incorporated into the liturgy just sort of out of, it was just what people did whenever alcohol was served. And then over time there began to be, the theological significance that you mentioned, that the wine represents Jesus and his divinity, and then the water represents us and our humanity, just this little drop, this very humble element that gets joined to that divine element of Jesus and transformed into this beautiful gift of wine.
Yeah, it's very moving what happens at the preparation of the altar, all the different prayers that happen in there, and it's just very, very beautiful.
And the words that the priest says right there, you might not know because it's kind of quiet. He says,
Mm-hmm.
by the mystery of this water and wine, may we come to share in the divinity of Christ, who humbled himself to share in our humanity.
Yeah,
So it's cool.
yeah, I love those prayers. Final question is, what do you think, Father, will Mass look like when we come back from this shutdown? So basically on May 18th, when we start having public Masses again, what do you think that's going to look like? There's a lot of things it could look like. I mean, one of the things that we're preparing for is for people to be wearing masks, people to be social distancing within 6 feet, people to make sure that they're sitting every other pew, only families sitting together. Certainly bigger churches will be able to have more people at those masses. So we're looking for a kind of a drastic reduction in the amount of people that can, or the number of people that can come to Mass, but it's going to be very different. Father Joe may start at his Mass the handshake of peace. He may start everyone receiving from the chalice. It's just very much like that. Not really caring about any of these social distancing, safety rules, but we're going to try to do everything we can. We're starting adoration this week, which is great. We just have a very strong desire for people to be able to pray. There are people who are able to do it in a way that's safe, right? We're making sure that people are safe. We're cleaning the church. We have all the different protocols in place that we had before. And for people can really pray before our Lord. We believe that in the Eucharist, Jesus is his present body, blood, soul, and divinity. And a lot of people have been asking about that. And so the diocese has given permission for all the parishes to do adoration starting this week. And we're very happy to open up the church for people.
It'll be from noon to 5 every day.
Yeah.
So if you want to come by and pray, the church will be open.
And just once again, we're praying for all of you. We're praying for everyone who's struggling right now, whether it's financially, emotionally, or even just people who are sick. We especially pray for those on the front lines, those who are caring for the sick. Thank you so much for all that you do for them. Thank you for what you do for us in our society. And again, know of our prayers. We can't wait to see you again. So God bless, and don't forget, if you have any more questions, to please fill out the questions by clicking on the link below so that we can answer your questions. And without further ado, see you later.
sweet coffee. Thank you, Lord.
Lord, it's way too early for a holy hour. Oh.
Come on. Gotta carry that cross. Oh, yeah, come on. Come on.
Lord, I've never heard you speak so clearly. I don't know if I can carry this cross, though.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get big.
But how do I get huge so I can carry the cross, Lord?
Oh, peaches!
Why peaches, Lord?
Oh, cinnamon applesauce. Gotta get that cake. Do it for the cake. Oh, cinnamon applesauce. Almonds! Oh, yeah. Gotta get big. Peanuts! Cashews!
I can buy those online?
Almonds!
Is there a limit to how many of those I can buy? Okay, good. That's good to know. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, yes.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, this music's it's being a little too loud, you know? Like, I'm trying to work out and it's just really messing up with my flow. So you think? Just, turn it down a little bit. Thanks. You're a good guy.